And I think the team that everybody's probably discounting the most is probably Texas because they're playing Ohio
Right.
State next. And let me tell you, like, I know we've talked about their schedule, how they didn't play all the best teams in the SEC, and how but like, they did what they did against you guys with Carson Beck fully healthy in the first half of that game in the SEC championship. And I, I don't know, like, and then you saw they handled their business against Clemson, who I think Clemson's very underrated. And I think people need to be careful and watch out for Clemson next year because with Klubnik coming back, they're going to be interesting. And then I think this Arizona State team might be one of the toughest teams that we had in this field. And Texas
Yes. The
got out to a
grittiest.
big lead, blew it, but then still finished the job, got it done. Even though they probably needed a little bit of help, they also didn't help themselves with the two missed field goals. I, Texas, if you looked at it before the season, everybody, including us, because they were the one team I said Texas is definitely making the playoff.
Yep.
So I'll put that bet down because I saw their schedule and I knew that they had the dudes. They still have the dudes, and like they're in a situation where if something happens to Quinn Ewers in the first half, Arch Manning comes off the bench. If something happens to Will Howard, Ohio State's screwed. Something happens to Riley Leonard, Notre Dame is screwed. Drew Aller, Penn State's screwed. Uh, what's his name? Burbula
Burbula transferred.
is gone. So like, not that he was like your prototypical
But he could win
post
the
style
game for
quarterback.
them.
He could win the game for you by doing what he does best. Um,
Yes.
so I don't know that there's a team that's more set up. And then look at also what Texas has on the outside at the receiver position. Look at their running backs, that O line, D line. Like it's and they've got a secondary that's good enough.
Hmm.
They're I think numbers wise they're one of the best in the country. Um, but I think it's mostly because their pass rush has been helping them out a lot. But their secondary can guard you. So this it's actually a really good matchup. So anyway, but the point is like this is why we do this so that you can filter this. Those first couple of rounds are not the we need to. If anybody gets blown out in the first round, we shouldn't have them in the first round. No,
Yeah.
this is a filter. We're filtering.
People get people get so mad about like, well, what game would you want to see more? So it's not about what game you want to see more. It's not about what team you'd rather see. Would this be a better game? Yeah, probably. But that team also lost to Oklahoma.
Right.
Sorry. Like,
Yeah,
would you
exactly.
would you rather see Jackson Dart? Yes, but guess what? Jackson Dart threw 3 interceptions down in the swamp. I can't help
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I can't. I would like
Yeah.
it. I'm not going to lie. Like I think that yes, that Ole Miss, Alabama, if you put those teams in the playoff right now, regardless of what happened to Alabama against
Hmm.
Michigan, and we will talk about
Yeah.
that. Don't you worry, everybody. But
Yeah.
regardless, I think a fully functioning Ole Miss Alabama team could
Hmm.
make a splash. But guess what? They didn't earn it. And
Yeah, they didn't earn it
these four teams,
with
these
this
four
12
teams,
team. Yeah.
regardless what we think about Texas and their schedule, we already said it. We covered that. They won their 2 games. They're here,
And if they
and we
beat
have.
Ohio State, shut the hell
Mhm.
up.
And
If they
talking
beat
speaking
Ohio
of
State,
Ohio
you got to
State,
shut the hell up because
right,
they definitely earned it.
right.
Because who the hell else like are they not worthy until they win the whole thing? Like and we're talking about Notre Dame, but like Notre Dame hasn't won jack since way before the last time Texas won a national championship.
Hmm.
At least Texas won one in '05. Like,
Yep.
come on now.